Hey, so I'm going to share a story of Anna Eckunld. I'm going to spell that name for you because I can't pronounce it right. But this story begins when Anna was born in 1882 in Marathon, Wisconsin. She had rumored to be an odd life growing up, and her parents were German immigrants, and her mom died when she was young, and things were pretty okay up until that point. They were churchgoers, but it was rumored that the father didn't care for religious Catholics or anything Christianity or anything like that. And again, it was rumored to say that he was abusive and kind of crazy. But again, those are all rumors. We're not sure if any of that's true or not. There was possible abuse and all that going on for Anna when she was young and after her mother had passed away. When her mother passed away when she was 14, and it's not clear, I didn't find anything clear on how the mother passed away. So at age 14, things start to go a little difficult for Anna. Things began to happen, like she began getting sick, not feeling good, having episodes of just odd stuff when she went to church. And while this was going on, rumors were going awry and people were beginning to talk, and just all kinds of things started happening. It started progressing more and more. That she'd violently get ill if she'd gone to church. Anything religious around her. Just odd, strange behavior. Again, this is in the early, late 1800s, early 1900s. So, stuff like that was still awkward. Still is awkward. But as time progressed on, she began to just say nasty, weird, strange, crazy things. She would just have violent outbursts, and things were starting to, rumor mill started to fly, and people started acting all crazy about it. And the father wanted to, they're like, let's get her help. Her father had a relationship with the aunt, but what type of relationship? Very questionable. Very questionable relationship. But the aunt kind of stepped in, and she decided to reach out to a church for help with Anna because things just getting worse. And sorry, I keep looking this way, I keep looking at my notes, so I want to make sure I have things right. But when Anna had these episodes, she couldn't remember exactly what she did, what was said. The aunt decided, something's going on, let's see what's going on. She reached out to the church after they tried different things, nothing was helping. So they decide to reach out to a church, and the church, the aunt was the one that stepped up and said this, and they reached out, and the church recommended, I'm trying to say his name right, Father Theoplesis Resinger. Again, I will put that down so you guys can have the correct spelling. He was a Capuchin monk. So this Father Resinger was a professional in demonic forces and exorcism and all those unknown scary stuff. Yeah. But he was determined he was going to come and help and see what was going on. So they get together and they decide to set this up to see if she was possessed. And he, you know, this is sometime years later. So this was sometime later with trying to figure things out, and time has gone on. So he, Father Resinger comes and sees if he can help, and he brings some objects to her to see if she can touch, see what her reaction was on things. And she had, some severe reactions to the religious items that were presented to her. So we are now at the age 30, and she had gone all this time with progressively getting worse, no help, and Father Resinger shows up and tests her. And so in doing so, he wanted to make sure that she was not faking it. So he would splash holy water on her, and she had, some really bad reactions to it. Then he decided, well, I'm just going to splash this on her to see. And it wasn't holy water, it's just regular tap water. And nothing happened. And now only he knew that he was doing this to make sure. So, that's kind of freaky. So he decided, we're going to get this going. Do what he can to get the demons out of her. And let's see. So he performed his exorcism on her, and things seemed to go okay, and it worked. Things seemed to be like, okay, things are gonna get back down to normal. She felt better, things were going on their way. And then in 1928, things had gotten worse for her. So she reached out to the father, and he was, quite taken back at, that she's having issues again. So he was like, yeah, we'll see what we can do and get you help. And he reached out to another father that he knew that had his own missionary church, and he was out doing a missionary, and he's like, well, explained to everything. And then he was like, yeah, sure, bring her on over. His name was Father Joseph Steiger, and invited her out to come out to his parish to do this for her. And they were all quite taken back on what was going on with her. So at this point, They were at St. Joseph's Parish in Earling, Iowa, where they proceeded a series of exorcism. Yes, a series. Not one, not two, but several. She really, really needed the help. And so this started in August of 1928, where they had started a series of exorcism. Now, in preparing for this, the fathers had reached out and made sure that the assistants, the nuns, and everybody that was going to help with everything could handle this. So he made sure to have the people prepared, to the stronger ones, the buffer ones, the bigger ones, the ones that have the muscles and everything, were fully prepared for this. And they get together. So everybody's prepared for this now. They're all set up. They had her tied down in preparation for what was about to take place. As the fathers proceeded to perform the ritual, the exorcism, Anna was tied down to this bed, and she fell into a deep state of sleep. Now, they checked on her to see if they could wake her, and they couldn't wake her. And while they were performing this, she somehow managed to get loose from the bed, and her body began to float, like you see in the movies. Which, the fathers continued the rituals, and the nuns that were there to assist and everything, they used her, try to hold her down, try to pull her down. They couldn't. She floated up and over, and she was like high up, like above by the ceiling high. So they continued everything. They continued what they, the rituals, most of us seen them in movies, how they do it. So she proceeded to float and then hover there. And while they're performing this, she began to howl, like excruciating pain, howling like a pack of ravaged wild wolves, demonic sounds, just loud. And then while that was going on, let's see, I believe it was Father Theo, can't say his name, Theo Resinger proceeded to say, well, who's possessing Anna? Some say when you get the proper name of the demon in a possession, then you can, that's when you can really exorcise them. So as this was going on, he asked who was the lead demon, and she said Beelzebub. And well, while he was doing this, the demon was like, there's more than one. He says there's many demons here. And Beelzebub said, quote, her own father has cursed us into her. Now mind you, at this point, her father and her aunt is dead. They are no longer around. And then let's see. And then they said, asked the demon to leave. He said to leave us in peace. And then, let's see, and then he said, you can ask him to leave us in peace, is what they asked the demon. And they said, that is a foolish question. So they're having this conversation with this demon. How freaky is this? They, now, they said us. So they asked, who is us? You know, who is with you? And the demon said, Mina. Now, that was something shocking for them to hear, because the aunt's name was Mina. And this demon proceeded to tell them that she cursed them, and she had cursed Anna, and that this aunt of hers basically was into satanic stuff, and she had possibly murdered 3 children. So she was into all this crazy stuff. Now, mind you, this all started when Anna's mother had died, and the aunt had came into the picture. Coincidence? So that all shocked everybody. So throughout all this, Jacob was starting to feel uncomfortable by inviting Anna here. This was freaking them out. Time is passing by. Nothing is, in his mind, nothing was getting done. So he was getting stressed about it and started to get nervous about it. Father Resinger was, keep the faith, you know. That's when people, want to get up on things when things are getting really tough and scary, and you got to keep faith. So he's telling him, let's keep faith, and while all this is going on. So Father Jacob was getting really uneased with everything because nothing was happening. It was progressing too long. And so he was feeling very uneasy. At one point, he had gotten a call from a local farmer that wife needed last rites. On his way to giving this last rites, he crashed his car. But there's been the work of the demons. So tension was building, things were getting uneased, and it just seemed really bad. So both fathers decided, okay, over the weeks, several weeks of time, lots of time has passed by. Anna was getting weaker and tired. She's not eating. Weeks have gone by. Things were happening. Then, just like out of nowhere, after 3 different sessions, we're talking several days in August, several days in September, several days in December, all this time has passed by, and one day Anna bolted up, set up, and I'm looking at my notes because I want to get the quote right. She bolted up and said, demons, Judas, Jacob, Mina, hell, 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 praised be Jesus Christ. And just like that, peace came over her. Judas, Jacob, and Mina. Now, Jacob was her father's name. Mina was her aunt's name. But ever since that day, she's been fine. It's kind of scary. crazy, scary. It's just odd. Odd. Just like that. Now, Father Stenginger, after that, went on to live a quiet, peaceful life, because that was a lot for him to handle. But he continued his work and just was done, that was that. Now, Father Theophilus Resinger, in his church and everything, was a popular priest ever since then. And then Anna, after that, went on to have a peaceful life after that. So she went through a lot, several exorcisms. Let's see, her first one when she was young, first time she met the Father, was several days, and then her second one was in August, from August 18th through the 26th. That was a long session. And then the next one was in September, from the 13th to the 20th. And then the last one was December 15th and the 23rd. And then on the 23rd was the last day, and she sat up and just told him to leave her alone. Asked in Jesus Christ's name, and she had peace. So that was the story of Anna Eckunld.